here is Coach Liam Cohen speaking about the process of transition and Travis Hunter playing offensive defense as a pro. I think it's pretty interesting. Let's get into this right here, man. We got to check this out. It says for Travis, this is Liam Cohen, the head coach. It says for Travis, it's very normal. It's kind of what we've been used to, what he's been used to. For us, this has been an organizational decision in a lot of ways where everybody, as you saw during practice, has to be on board, Cohen said. It's been a challenge, but it's been a fun challenge to say, okay, this worked. Maybe we need to tweak this. Hey, you can't give them too many days on the opposite side without going on the other. That's a big statement. Did you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
You can't give them too many days on the opposite side without going on the other. That's an important statement right there, and that's what we're going to key in. That statement right there can end up being a problem because I could see now, man, Travis Hunter playing both ways is going to slow down the process of him being able to master one of those positions, either receiver or cornerback. Cornerback is a very technical position, and his technique and footwork won't be as sharp as it should be playing cornerback if he's splitting time at receiver until Travis Hunter consistently get those reps at cornerback. You have to rep day in and day out to keep your technique consistent and sharp, right? But the best part about the Jaguars drafting Travis Hunter to play cornerback and receiver is he can be at 60% and he's still the best cornerback on that team.
That's interesting hearing it coming from the coach, though. I just thought about it like, how do you even like practice for him to do both spots, especially like going to NFL and learning a whole new offense, learning like the whole defense and the schemes and all that stuff like that. If you was the head coach, how would you like put him out there for practice, and what side would you put him on more?
It would be very difficult. Like you say, it's very difficult, and it has to be very trying because you have different schemes every week. You have only a limited amount of time. You have offensive meetings. You have defensive meetings. We need to go over this technique that you didn't do right yesterday, but you're over in the defensive meetings. So there's so many different moving parts that needs to be handled, and I just think it's going to end up holding him back and stopping him from being such a excellent or great player trying to just accomplish being a two-way player. You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's better to be elite at one position instead of being normal at two positions, at both positions. And I think that's what this leads into, because I know it's cool. You can have all the energy and work as hard as you want. But in the NFL, man, trying to play and master two positions, I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
That's why it hasn't been done yet on a consistent basis. Yeah, you can sprinkle them in, play here, play there, in different positions, but you can't consistently depend. That's the key word. You can't consistently depend on Travis Hunter to play both sides of the ball. You can design certain plays and concepts, but you can't absolutely depend on it.
Man, if I had to guess, man, I think he like for the season, if we had to like choose on which side you think he's gonna play more, I think they're gonna put him more at receiver than defense. I
think so, and that's obviously where I see the Jaguars want him and want to establish him on defense, but his heart is in offense. Offense and wide receiver is that fun position. So scoring touchdowns, catching the ball, being able to celebrate, all those type of things are fun. And I think that's the part of the game he don't want to let go. Yeah, because he's a natural talent at cornerback, no doubt about it. You know.
All right.
And like I said, the Jaguars secondary was just absolutely horrible a season ago. So he's definitely going to be an upgrade to the defense regardless. But Travis Hunter, if he wants to establish himself as one of the best, he will need more experience and reps to go through the ups and downs you need to go through at cornerback and understand what you did wrong in certain plays or certain games so you can correct it the next game. So for instance, right, when you said you brought up a good point, right? Against the Chargers and the Saints, Tyler Shuck throws the interception, the guy jumps the route. What do you think is going to happen next? We see that they're jumping a route. We see that he's playing tight. We're going to do a double move. So Travis Hunter has to understand little things like that. Tight coverage. I just made a great play. Okay, the next play, I have to watch out. They're coming back for a double move. So there's so many different nuances and things they have to learn like that. Just getting the reps and playing, you know?
Right.
You know, because in my opinion, and you tell me what do you think? Y'all let me know also in the chat. In my opinion, cornerback is the second hardest position to play behind quarterback. Could be tied, but
I feel the same exact way.
It could be tied for number one, or it could just be the hardest. But the quarterback has a lot of responsibilities. That's the only thing that is more challenging than cornerback. Cornerback physically is more challenging. You know, the running backwards and covering somebody running forward is probably one of the most odd things to do in life. Yeah.
Right. And that's like what they say. Like they know where they're going. You don't. You got to figure out where they're going.
Yeah, exactly. But Travis Hunter was able to get away with playing both sides of the ball for so long, and we do this in Little League, high school. He kept it going into college, right? And on the high school level and college level, it's much easier, right? It's easier to get away with being a two-way player, just being a super athlete. And that's what Travis Hunter is. He's a freak of nature type of athlete, and he's a super duper athlete. But when it comes to the professional level, and everyone is a super athlete and is talented, it takes more time and preparation to understand how to gain these edges or gain the edge against your opponents. You know what I mean? To be the elite. So trying to split this time again is going to be very troublesome, right? Now, at times, he can go in there at cornerback and just be an athlete and make plays left and right. He can always do that. But if y'all seen the game where they ran a slant route on him, if they hit that wide receiver on that slant route in mid form, he'll be chasing that wide receiver all the way down to the 10-yard line. And then his body will be worn out after that play. You understand? But he has to understand the technique and the footing so he doesn't give up that play, those type of plays.
Right.
You know, every aspect you could contest to this. Every aspect of playing cornerback burns energy, from controlling the receiver when the cornerback and the receiver locks up on run plays, trying to shed the receiver, you know, to run into the football. You got to run to the football, and then you got to cover the receivers when the football isn't even coming your way. You playing them hard every play. You ran a route, you covered them because you don't know when the football comes. So every aspect of playing cornerback for Travis Hunter, it burns a lot of energy, right? And
man, then going to receiver, and then going to receiver and run them routes too.
Right, exactly. But on high school and in college, it's not as exerting, right? You're not burning as much energy because it's not as challenging, because everyone isn't as athletic or doesn't have the same abilities that you have. But now we're talking about on the pro level, everything is ×2. You have to burn that energy that you used to burn in ×2 now. How do you deal and handle that, you know?